Okie dokie, hard cut. I apologize a little bit, but this was a spontaneous render I made today, since I created this car, which carries the name Nero 3.0. I created this guy offline. If you want to see on how I create cars, if you want to get an idea on that, and you can check out the playlist of this guy we created completely together from zero, if you want, from the starting point. It's 8 hours long, so you can see every little step. Anyway, so this guy brought me to creating this guy. It just happened. I didn't meant to do it, it just happened, and I found that's kind of cool, and I want to continue working on it, but I can't. So this is also the last video for November for sure now. I kept saying it in the other videos I created. Not sure if anyone watches exactly those, probably not, but you know, I said it definitely, and now I'm gonna be gone for a while, and Blender wise, and then I'm gonna come back and I wanna continue on this guy. That's one of the reasons I created this video. The first reason is I wanted to show the animation in the showroom, which there's also on this channel a showroom with the spaceship. I used the same showroom, I just adjusted the light settings a little bit so that the car is looking good, because if the light doesn't fit and if your modeling is not that good, then I think you have to kind of cheat with the lighting a little bit to make it look better. But we're gonna become awesome, so at some point it doesn't matter where we're gonna put our car, it's always gonna look like crap. No, this is not what I wanted to say. Anyway, so two reasons. The first one is I wanted to show again animation. The second one is I wanted to just casual talk a little bit before I take a little break of a Blender. And here I'm gonna show you, this is, you know, almost the same thing. We use the same technique to create this car, which is not, I could assume it's not a good technique to create realistic cars, but you know, realistic cars in Blender, I'm not sure if this is a thing anyways, but it's not a good technique probably to create a realistic car, but it's an easy technique which allows you to create fantasy cars, and I think that's okay. For that reason I like that kind of things and thing. So only thing is I did something different creating, you know, I was experimenting a lot creating this curve, if you want, which I'm gonna show in this video quickly how I approached that, because I did it, I created myself a tutorial for myself in the German language, and so that I do not forget this step, because I forgot how I did this. A tiny little thing you forget, and you kind of, sometimes you learn something or realize something in Blender, and then you think you remember it, but there's a little step you just forget, and so it's good to make your tutorial for yourself. So I keep saying that, I know. Anyways, or write it down if you don't want to record a tutorial for yourself. So I just wanted to show you this. So first of all, this is just, I could have copied stuff from my other projects, so because you have a quicker result. Yeah, I want to show you something. I have different texture. So this one here is a carbon texture. Accidentally happened today, and I'm gonna show you how I did this. So I think it's even the chip HD. So this is a texture I created with GIMP probably, and Blender or just Blender, I don't remember, for this spaceship. That's, you know, my names are all kind of messed up anyways. And then I used object, which is also interesting. Today I had an aha effect which I want to share with you quickly. Anyway, so I used you know, this to the object, and then vector, and then it goes into that thing, and that you see it yourself. You know, it's not that how you do that, it's just how I've stumbled across that kind of effect today and to me it was good. But it's not something you should use for carbon effects. I don't. I mean, you can obviously, but maybe, I don't know. So yeah, and yeah, I want to show you something. You can see here this one thing here. This is where I had my you know, it's not that I learned this the first time or that I came across this problem the first time, but sometimes you have an aha moment and then you think you remember it, and then you do something different and you forget about this again. And today I made aha again, so I had it made sense again. Okay, I'm speaking of this line. You can see this is a bump effect we used. Away that quickly, this material. So we use the bump effect for this line, and if I go into the into the notes, then so this is how it looks like. I'm not so good at this stuff here. So okay, can I make this a little bit? So it's not a tutorial anyways. It's really not, it's just casual. Last video for November for sure. Okay, you can see it. I hope you can see it. So this thing is going into the bump. Is this the bump? See, this happens if you don't name your stuff. You don't know it. It's different. Proper. See, this is my names. HH2. What the heck does that mean? I don't know. So this is how I save my stuff. Sometimes I do it good, sometimes I'm not doing it good. So proper disk 2 probably, something like that. Yeah. So very simple effect, and if I had it like this, UV goes into the thing, and the problem with that is that it doesn't follow the line exactly like the object is built, right? So it doesn't work. It doesn't matter how I change the rotation. I can change the rotation, keep changing the rotation. It never really follows the shape of the car. I'm gonna reset this here very well. But if I use object, then the texture, which is a weird texture, but whatever this is, let's call it texture, image, whatever, now follows the object, which makes sense because this is probably why it says object. I knew there's a difference between those stuff, but I never really think much about stuff sometimes, and then someday it makes like, oh, it really makes sense why it's called object. So I believe that it follows the object. Sounds, yeah, I don't know, I explain it weird, but that's how I got it, I guess. Yeah, again, that's not the first time that I stumbled across this thing, but I just wanted to mention it because I forget about this anyways again. So what else? Yeah, let's switch to the other material, just for fun, you know. This is also how I back up my materials here, and that's a good way later on if you wanna animate switching from one material to another material. Anyway, so this is then the metallic. This, I like this metal very much, and this is the dirty look, but it's too rough. It's really not looking that great. Anyway, now you have seen this. I want to show you something different too. Yes, yeah, Totorono. This guy had to be here too, because this guy brought us to this guy, and this guy brought us to that guy. So you can see a little bit of improvement. However, I have to say I like the Totorono a lot, and it looks not that great as this guy, which is, I mean, or not so many details. I think it has a soul. But you have to consider this one is made in 1 hour and this one is made in 8 hours, and so is this one approximately, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. I didn't track that time, and those are the predecessors of everything. Anyway, I want to show you something. Navigation is kind of hard using the big mouse. I explained it already. It's a weird thing, but yeah, I want to show you how this looks from the spaceship. Also, I want to continue working on the spaceship. Then December or next year, then Yeah, it looks kind of funny, right? Okay, so okay, let's go now, and we are currently in the project name project Nero 3.0. We're gonna go into the project name 1, Nero 1, because then you can see the how we did the round thing. I'm gonna explain this to you. It's not a tutorial, but it will remind me, although I have already a tutorial for myself, but I might forget about this too, so I'm gonna watch this maybe. Anyway, I'm gonna show you. Okie dokie, now we are in the environment where I created only this guy here. This I just put it in because I like to have something, you know, when it's so empty it makes me sad. And maybe also you used some materials like you know, copy and paste the material, drag and drop the material of other projects. It's always helpful. Okay, so you can see it's looks a little bit different. This is you know, the very first save file. I like it, but it's kind of weird, and I wanted to have it a little bit cleaner. And you can see here's a little bit of the progress. Okay, here's the point where I think I can explain it to you, how I approach this thing here, which is not then the perfect technique, but it's an easy technique, and so we can create fun stuff. Cannot apply to the NASA and say, hey, look what I did, let me build a rocket. Or maybe they let you, maybe they will. I should give it a try. Hey NASA, look at me. Look what I did a car. Can I now work on a rocket? Sure. Why not? Okay, so this is the technique we used to create the cars. You should know that by now. Or if not, watch the 8 hours playlist of the car Selena. Okay, so we're gonna just cut this thing in half. We don't have to, but it's what we do. So okay, and then get rid of this side here. So this is how it should look, kind of. Using the mirror modifier, here we go. And now I need to remember, yeah, I think we have to do it like that. We're gonna select this edge and we say Control and B, and then we're gonna increase this number here. It's really up to you how much how high you want to go. The higher, the more, the rounder the thing is, the more detailed it is, but it might be too much anyways. So okay, so I set up for 10. I'm gonna undo this, and because now it remembers that it was 10, I'm gonna press Control B again, and now I'm gonna put it like, you know, making it like this one here approximately. I did this a little bit different, but their way is the same almost. And then we're gonna select those guys here. Let's do it like no, only that, right? So you have to select it. How you do that, it's up to you. There is a way to quick select those stuff. Okay, well, if you select one, hold down Shift, left Shift, the other one. Now Blender has a pattern, and if you hold down Control, left Control, and hold down also Shift, again hold down left Control and Shift, and then press the numpad plus key once, twice, third, fourth, and so on, and you kind of pattern select. Or yeah, I say that all the time, I guess, because when I came across this option, it really made a lot of things easier. So try to use it a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna press Control and B again, and now we still have the bevel, right? Control B for bevel, and look at that. Yeah, how round that is. I like that a lot. And now right click, and then we say, go into the face selection mode, and we say smooth, and here we go. Oh, we have like a smooth motor thing. We in German say Motorhaube, in English it's, I do not know. I should really look that up. Every time when you don't know a word, you should look up the word, otherwise you will not learn it. But I'm being lazy now. I learned enough. So, and I don't, you know, it's okay to be lazy. So Okay, now you can make some weird nice eyes. You know, this is basically how I did this, and then here, this one we have to smooth down as well. Yeah, you could, you know, you could do this now at the same time. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Only problem is here the sides, and this one here is not looking that great. So this has to be, we have to work on that technique. We have to polish this kind of technique to make it more useful also for the sides, because you can see it's not perfect. It's okay though, because again, this is a fun thing we do. It's not meant to be at NASA. And then I had here also such a problem. I think at some point here, we in German have the word kaschieren, which kind of means you try to not to show the bad stuff or something. I think it comes from the French. Yeah, so I kind of, you know, it's not nice, but it was okay. It was good enough to keep working on it, and I'm glad I did, because it brought me to a, I like this, it kind of is like a Mad Max car, I think. Like, you know, Twisted Metal game I personally liked a lot. Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 1 back then. Yeah, and so this is how I did those stuff. And you can do the same or not. I mean, again, it's not the best technique. What I've seen, or let's just switch to the other scene, why not? Okay guys, so we're just in another scene. Again, this is just this one here I should really not use, because this is just such a crappy, I used here such a crappy, this is one of, I think, even one of my early attempts, so to try to figure out how the heck the particle system works, and I don't know why I used it in here, because I think I'm just grabbed the first thing what I usually when I know what, let's say I have a scene, I just want to quickly get the result. I think of in which scene did I use grass, then I'm gonna go into the Blender folder, and then, you know, whatever I see first, I'm just taking it. And yeah, so well, in this way, this one will hound me, because I always paste the shitty thing into good scenes actually, and then it's with, you know, the one of the first attempts things is kind of always there. Anyway, that's not the thing, big of a deal. Yeah, no, I think we are actually done. You want to see the showroom maybe? I'm gonna show you the showroom too. Before I show the showroom, because I just thought this might be interesting, you know, sometimes you need to change the light settings in here, and I had to adjust the showroom. So experimented a little bit with those things. Sometimes you want to change the color settings, so you have to, this is the Eevee render, right? That turned on those stuff here, and then changed it to high contrast. But you can really experiment with the color setting, which if you do, and if you like that kind of like me, you're getting a little bit crazy, because you can spend hours on just doing that, switching the colors. Oh, it looks nice. Oh, it looks not nice. Oh god, what have I done? It's completely crap. Then I press reset. Let's do it again. Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, that's okay. So this is how I do those stuff. This is important, because when I put it, I'm not sure if I said this at the beginning, if I put my car into the environment, into the showroom which was created for the spaceship, the car looked like, you know, didn't look well, because or nice, because it was not meant set up for this car. Anyways, I'm gonna show the showroom anyways. Okay, quick showing you guys the showroom. So I set everything up for this guy here. Yeah, the good thing about this showroom is it's still loading here, it's still loading the shaders here, is that I wanted to have a showroom, and I constructed this thing. It needs adjustments here and there too. It's not the best thing in the world, blah blah blah. But the good thing about this solution is that, as you can see, I don't have to animate the car. I can put whatever I want to put into that thing, and when I press the 0 key on my numpad, it looks like the car is rotating, but actually the whole room is rotating, including the camera, which allows you to put stuff quickly into the center of the room, and then you have instant in showroom. You don't have to do much. Maybe adjusting the colors and stuff, that might be a thing. But that basically saves, and there would be a sound being played, but since I turned on my headset, turned off my headset while I'm in OBS broadcast, yeah, the OBS cannot grab the audio signal right now, but it's not important anyways. So although the motor sound is kind of lovely. Yeah, vroom vroom vroom. That's awesome. Yeah, you can see it. It even says here Kim9. Ignore that, please. This is not Kim. I don't know why it's. Did I not save that? Because I rendered it, right? I might not even. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I rendered it and then I probably didn't save the file, but you get the idea. Okay, now I'm gonna show you some screenshots. The thumbnail I may use, may not, and then that's about it. Okay, so we have this. No, this one is what I maybe use as a thumbnail. I created this guy in GIMP Photoshop, which is also gratis or free. Open source, and the good thing about those programs is they are incredibly good. They are really good. I don't even know. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, Adobe Premiere, Photoshop or Adobe Photoshop I never used, so I cannot tell. It probably is really good for it makes the work, because I think they are set up for the industry, so everything is kind of, you know, working smooth together. That's probably the reason. But if you're not working for a huge company or something like that, you should really use those open source programs, because they are free and they are incredible good, unbelievable. So yeah, this thumbnail I'm gonna maybe use, maybe not. Maybe I'm just gonna use the showroom because I liked how the car was visible. We're gonna work, when I come back on the showroom, we're gonna work on the car, on the spaceship. Oh, probably not. I never know. This is what I wanna do, but maybe I'm gonna come back and start something completely new. But we'll see about that anyways. There is no schedule or something like that, which is incredibly good for a creative person who freaks out as soon as there is some pressure of, you know, I like doing a lot of things and I love doing it, but as soon as there's a little bit of pressure, it kind of, yeah, it's hard for creative people. I don't know, they don't like it, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, good. Yeah, then have a good time and then prepare yourself for Christmas, and yeah, we see us maybe December or next year. Good, I talked too much. If somebody watched that far, thanks for that. That's always, I'm always happy with if people watching the whole video. But again, don't do it just because you think if you think, I'm not asking for that. Watch until you get bored, and that's completely fine, because I do the same thing. I'm not watching more than when I get bored, I'm not watching anything. So totally fine. But if you watch that far, then thanks for that. That's nice, and I wish you a good time. So that's about it. Baba and auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen is a German goodbye.